Sitting here with Latham Woodward, Shoogies. We're going to get to know Shoogies.
What's up, George? Oh, yeah.
We were in a station wagon.
Sleeping bags in the back.
And we drive from California to Michigan. 7 kids. As quick as my dad could get us there. Because his arm was sore from reaching around fucking slapping people on the head.
Wait, was that my car?
All food must be in single-serve disposable dishes.
Singing is discouraged. I gotta beat you that one.
No,
oh my God.
For people that don't know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
it's called a record store.
A record
and
store.
that's they
Where
have
you would
these
go
things,
like this through the racks and
Yeah, they
find
had
your
these things.
album.
They were called records. You'll
There's
just be
Kurova up there, the milk bar.
Oh.
I remember those.
not, as Borat would say, not.
Very nice.
Yeah,
They're nice.
very nice. People will be sitting in their living room. They'll be sitting in a restaurant. They'll be sitting at a cafe. And this is a product that will be sitting there.
Yeah, and I'm not your primary product for a cannabis consumer. I'm your add-on product. You want to have your coffee or your tea and you want to get a little high during the day, but you're still going to smoke. You're still going to dab. You're still going to get your diamonds out. You're still going to get your vape pen out. You're going to get your platinum vape out, right?
Absolutely.
And all of these things are part of the ecosphere.
What is cannabis doing for you?
Put some dog tags together, man.
Hey everybody, welcome back to PV Unfiltered. And yes, we still are the #1 cannabis podcast in the nation. Shit, we got a little sound in there. Yeah. So guys, listen, sitting here with Latham Woodward, Shoogies. We're going to get to know Shoogies.
What's up, George?
And that's not Shoogie, that's actually Latham. So you'll get a good view of the products here. We're going to talk about this, but I had the honor of actually being on your podcast on the audio side.
It was my honor,
which was a lot of fun. And I don't listen to a lot of podcasts that have myself on it because I can't stand, as much as you might not think so, listen to myself talk.
I know the feeling.
But I did listen to that podcast.
Oh, cool.
And it was, and I really did. It was actually playing this morning. And yeah, I still sound like shit.
You sounded great. You sounded great.
No matter how I did it. So thank you for that. And super honored to have you on here. And I think we're going to get to know you a little bit more than just Shoogies.
Right on.
So let's start with, obviously you didn't start in this industry.
Nope.
You were doing something else, probably porn or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinner then.
No, how'd you get into this? What were you before you were cannabis?
For almost 30 years, I was in the construction manufacturing business. I owned a company up in Oakland, California. We manufactured stone products all across the United States. I had clients like Restoration Hardware.
Big stuff.
Pete's Coffee. Yeah, I did every Pete's Coffee in the United States at one point. CBTL, and a lot of other things. You know, we were commercially bent construction and manufacturing for that industry. We also had a really high-end residential side. I was fortunate enough in, I think, 16, the zoning on my building changed overnight. So here I was in West Oakland just slogging away with my crew. It was good living for me.
So it was your company?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I had a partner, great partner, Les Baker. Shout out, Les. Zoning changed. So we went from light industrial manufacturing to all cannabis, all extraction. And then the knocks every day on the door. You want to sell? You want to sell? You want to sell? I looked at my partner and I said, you know, we got about $5 million in here in equipment.
Right.
We're constantly upgrading. We're constantly looking for innovation and better people. The thing with people, though, in the trades was, in the Bay Area especially, it got very expensive. I mean, $50 an hour, come on, you wouldn't even get people knocking on your door.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, Bay Area, come on.
It's miserable.
$50 an hour, that maybe gets you Dunkin' Donuts.
And half a latte.
Right.
So when the zoning changed, I just said to my partner, look, we don't get this opportunity very often. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. We can invest $7 million more into the upgrades into our facility, or we can take this money, run, and we can do other things with it. So got some friends from college. We took the money. And
so wait a second. So you sold the building?
Sold the building, sold the business, got out. And
there you go.
Yeah, it was the right thing to do at the right time. Then we just...
At a premium, of course.
3 times. It was great. Good day. good day for me.
Welcome to cannabis.
Thank you. And what happened was we had some buddies from college that I went to University of Oregon with, and we just decided to start in the vape business actually in Oregon. Terrible business up there. Very difficult market.
As soon as you say vape, it's difficult anywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter where you're at.
No, we were doing full spectrum extracts too.
Gotcha.
So it was
in the beginning.
Yeah, and
Wow.
it was an expensive product. It was a good product, and I loved it personally. But the dispensaries wouldn't buy it because it was too expensive. Production was really expensive on that stuff. And so it didn't go anywhere. And we were in the position where we're like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? Well, when I was in the construction business, I also was a buyer for a tequila company here in California. I had this sideline. It's called Laughing Glass Margaritas. They're still out there at Ralph's and Vaughn's and Safeway. And I met a lot of agave guys down in Mexico.
Gotcha.
So I just contacted them and said, well, maybe we can do THC with agave, and maybe I can do it in little individual packs and just make it kind of a condiment. And coincidentally, my granddad and my great uncle were both in the sugar business. They both worked for Holly Sugar back in the 30s and 40s and in 50s for my granddad. And so all of this stuff kind of came together. And I researched packaging equipment. And I found a machine in Istanbul, Turkey, that would make these little tiny stick packs, and super convenient, easy to use. You see them everywhere. So we just decided, let's see if we can package this stuff. There's not one in there, unfortunately. There's one.
That's
in the
fine. I'm
single
just
pack
looking
there.
at the packaging because the whole child-proof thing. It's pretty crazy how people have gone to be able to make these things work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So many people are stumped by that box too. It's not even funny. It's kind of hilarious, actually.
This one has a sticker on it, but
so just got the machines in, and we started manufacturing, and then it's been a slog. Sales slog, getting in there, getting people aware of it. This is in 17 and 18.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's taken a while.
what do you mean? It's taken a while. This is cannabis.
Yeah.
Everything happens overnight here.
Oh, yeah, it's instant.
You know what I mean?
Instant. Boom.
I mean, you're
Done.
a millionaire, billionaire, and then trillionaire.
Yeah.
And you didn't even really wake up yet.
Cash in my jet.
You still, what is that guy? Remember the guy back in the day that make millions in your underwear? You remember that guy back in the day?
I don't.
Oh yeah, yeah. The guy doing real estate, and he.
Oh yeah.
He's in his underwear every morning. He's buying and selling and this and that.
Yeah.
Another fucking scam.
Flipping properties.
Yeah, another scam. So Shoogies comes out as we have 17 is the birth of Shoogies.
18 was the birth of Shoogies. 17 was Sense Distribution carts up in Oregon.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So since then, the carts
Gone. Closed down Oregon operations entirely. It was just not profitable. It's a tough market.
Yeah.
And the population center of Oregon is Portland. That's it. Portland and Bend.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So
I lived in Portland for 7 or 8 years.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I lived up there too for a while. Met my wife up in Oregon. And
There you go.
so,
Left my wife up in Oregon.
Oh, there you go. Oh, what's her name? Anyway.
It's not yours.
So 18, we started this project, and it's just been slowly trickling into dispensary. We've got some great dispensaries who love our product, and we got a lot of fans who love our product.
I think it's just like anything else. I mean, when you're in a niche market, and this truly is,
Yeah.
until you get that reach, there is like this click. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as you're going to see, I mean, we've been dealing with this just like anybody else. I mean, we've had products that hit the shelves and,
Pull them off.
we push and push and push. But this is really, it's a great product.
Thank you.
And if you really think about it, to be able to medicate, we still call it medicating.
Yeah.
This is something that's so simple that everybody has coffee.
And it goes in your pocket. It goes in your purse.
It goes anywhere.
It goes up here. It goes
You don't have
anywhere.
to worry about it melting.
Nope.
You don't have to worry about anything other than just putting it in whatever it is that you're consuming.
Whatever you're doing.
And so you really think about it. it's a daily thing. When you sit down at a restaurant, you want iced tea? Yeah, I'd love an iced tea. They bring you the little thing. It has little packs of sugars.
That's where I got my inspiration.
And you're using those.
Yeah.
And the same thing when you have coffee, so now you can use this
anywhere.
And it's not like you're smoking. It's not like, it's just an advantage. Yeah. You know what? You're going to have a cup of coffee with some friends or whatever in the morning.
Yeah.
Boom. Dump a pack in 10 milligrams.
Or with grandma.
Grandma loves it too.
Oh yeah. Grandma loves it.
So it's just, this is the thing is it's always like a don't give up because
I'm not.
It's such a basic, it's like the guy that invented the Post-it. It's like those type of things that you just keep pushing because this isn't a gimmick. This is something that is a need that is on everybody's plate at some point.
Well, let's talk about that because that is kind of my inspiration, right? I don't view the dispensary as a place where you just go get pre-rolls or vape pens or gummies. I view the future of the dispensary as being much more like a CVS. Now, dispensaries might not like to hear that, but the reality is products like mine, other niche products like Free Leaf and these other little intangibles that are like out there.
Right.
There's cool stuff coming. That's our home baker bag. So that's 8 ounces by weight of sugar. Dump it into any recipe you get at the market right now.
Right.
And you've got 100 milligram dosed brownies. You know what the dose is. That's the number one problem with edibles at home, especially with Magic Butter Machine. Shout out to a lot of the guys who use the Magic Butter Machine. They love it.
Right.
But are you sending that out for testing? No. You don't know what you're getting.
Right.
So this is 100 milligrams. You're making a cake. My cake has 100 milligrams. Each slice, I have 10 slices, has 10 milligrams in it.
Right.
So this simplifies things for people, and this has become our lead product now, than our singles, because the singles are like a drop item at the front of the dispensary where you can put them in a bucket or whatever.
Right.
Easy.
The little point of sale, grab it.
Yeah. Instead of the bag drop or a pre-roll, you get as a new patient,
Right.
You get one of these things. And for people who are just doing edibles, they're like, wow, this is cool. I can integrate this into my life anytime, anyway. I got stevia coming out in about 4 weeks too.
Wow.
That's good. Yeah, people who are diabetic or sugar intolerant, they can have stevia.
It's amazing.
Thanks, man.
And the syrup.
Yeah, let me crack one of these open. So this is agave syrup in here. And it's super, super easy. And I buy the highest grade agave available in the world today. It is USDA certified organic. And crack it open and try it. It's really good. And it's biodynamic, EU certified. It's also halal and kosher. So it covers all the bases.
That's it.
You can't get any complaints from anybody. Unless I missed something from Africa or something.
We had our guys from... kind of a funny story, off subject, but our guys here at HVGC, they were at a store, actually Peter's store I was talking to earlier, yesterday, and they were doing a PAD, you call them, or patient appreciation or customer appreciation,
right?
And they have the main strain for this company for HVGC is called Afghanimal.
Afghanimal,
yeah. And that's they're using this for PTSD and whatnot. And they said a guy came in, race not known. They were trying to figure that part out. But he handed him a brochure. Hey, this is our company. This is this and this. This is the strain. They're specific to this strain. And the guy literally tore up the brochure, like this, tore it up and threw it into the bud tender's face. And went out and was yelling that this company was racist.
Oh,
you guys are racist.
Wow.
I'm like, what the hell is going on there? And the guy left. And so the owner, Peter, and they kind of went out to find out like what happened.
What went down?
The guy's like, oh, it's a racist company because their product said Afghanimal.
Oh.
So we were kind of scratching our heads on the fuck does that have to, how is that racist? I don't know.
I don't know either.
But that's kind of one of those things that we thought that the product was for everybody.
No,
But I guess there's always that one person.
There's always that one person
that throws that out there.
You brought up PTSD. I want to shout out Weed for Warriors and Veterans Cannabis right now because they're my charity of choice. Weed for Warriors is doing great work for people with PTSD and U.S. returning soldiers and servicemen. And San Diego is a perfect place to say this. They're doing great work and great outreach. There's no fees. And they have great encounter groups and groups that where these guys can talk it out.
Right.
I've never seen a better medication for veterans than cannabis. We could do a whole other podcast on this. Oh yeah,
and we probably should because it's always something that we are very passionate about.
You have to be down here.
Is just there's so many aspects of cannabis that are doing things for other people. But when you get into the military and you get into the PTSD on that level, it's fucking amazing of what is going on with cannabis and with vets in any way. And this is, once again, these are all different avenues that people can use cannabis that not everybody smokes. Not everybody does this. You know what I mean?
The most inspirational stories I've heard about cannabis with veterans is the amount of vets that get off of what I call and what they call the death spiral drugs. And these guys are antidepressants. They're on stomach medication because the antidepressants screw them up in the stomach.
Yeah.
They're on all sorts of things for sleep and everything. These guys can kick it. These women too. They can kick that habit and use cannabis to medicate. And it's a inspirational story, and it's one that needs to be heard. So I'm glad I gave me the platform to say something about it.
No, absolutely. So let's talk about some other things.
Sure, man. Let's do it.
I want to hear what your thoughts are on mushrooms.
I'm not a big mushroom fan.
I was back in the day.
Well, I've had a lot of
this room. Room on mushrooms.
You'd lose your mind.
Oh, dude, I'd be having the best time ever.
No, I like psilocybin. I've done microdosing. I haven't done it in a long time. I was more of a LSD fan back in the day.
See, I was opposite.
Yeah, see, that was
two and done. Couldn't do it.
Well, see,
it was taking me to that level that I've just never been comfortable.
Never want to go back.
No, because I never thought I was coming back.
Right.
You know what I mean? I did it twice.
Yeah.
And both times were a no-go. But I mean, I had friends that I think they lived on it. It was just one of those things.
Oh yeah.
But you give me on some mushrooms back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's a great time.
For some reason, my stomach wouldn't take mushrooms.
Well, I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth for a lot.
Yeah.
We were, I got married last weekend and,
Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. And, so we're in the Bahamas and a couple of our girls from our Michigan side, they joined us out there as well. And, they had made, I think it was chocolate mushrooms.
Whoa.
Oh, these two,
whoa.
When we were on our full day excursion on the boats, and these two, I think, had the best time. And I don't know if they ever realized that they left the harbor. It was just like everywhere we went, these guys were
mentally.
Oh, it was just so much fun. What's your thought? I mean,
there's something for everybody. I mean, I can't. What I like, what you like, isn't what someone else likes. I know that the microdosing thing also for vets and people with PTSD is happening right now, and a lot of people are getting behind this, and it's a really important thing. The pharma industry in a whole, I'll get on a soapbox right now because I'm just, man, the pharma industry, I'm not sure they care about people.
No, they don't.
I think that they care about money. Mm-hmm. I think that they care about keeping people on things. And
I don't think generalizing for sure is not the right way to go, because I think there is, and I have friends in pharma that do, but the broad spectrum of what's happening there, the whole base and the whole function is money. That you can't get away from.
The whole thing with the opiates, though,
right?
I'm sorry, there's no other motivation.
None.
I mean, that was a money-driven thing.
And at what point, when they deemed cannabis, the monster of everything that was out there, at what point do we actually look at what's going on in the pharma world, in the opiate world, and understand that really truly is it's the monster. It's what's destroying people and destroying their lives.
This is such a deep conversation.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
you know, if you go back where cannabis was demonized, and you got to go back to William Randolph Hearst.
Yep.
And his cabal of industrialists at the, you know, turn of the century, last century, and their motivation. And there was many facets of the motivation. And one of them was to vilify Black Americans and make them into monsters who use cannabis. That was a disgusting thing. It was a disgusting racist thing.
I don't understand that part of it because, you know, back in those days, and when you fall obviously out of the 50s into the 60s, cannabis was predominantly white. It was predominantly white, and whether that visual came through the 60s and the music and whatnot. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the Black communities.
Oh, no, this is back. I'm talking about the 20s and 30s.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying as we go forward, like, where did it go wrong?
Went wrong when from the Hearst standpoint, and then you've got the Rockefellers. And I'm just going to use them as general names of industrials at the time, okay?
All right.
There was hemp oil for centuries has been used for lubrication purposes. It's been used on boats and ships and shipping. Everything. Well, guess what? If you're in the oil business, you don't need a competitor, right? And back then, the way to do this was saying evil weed, you know. And what was that movie called? I can't remember, the old scare film about Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness.
Right. And you're talking about.
Have you watched that whole movie?
It's hard to watch, but I have watched it.
I mean, I had only watched parts. Have any of you guys watched Reefer Madness?
Oh, you should watch it once.
It should be a requirement for anybody in cannabis. It will expand your mind in ways without touching anything to understand how this world really works. It's unbelievable.
And early media and how they wanted to shift opinion.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah. I finally watched the whole thing, and it really just takes us to a place that...
There it is on the screen right there.
Yeah. It really takes us to a place that's hard to imagine.
Yeah, and there was a definite economic reason for it. They wanted to destroy this industry. Number one, hemp.
Oh, no, they did destroy.
Oh, yeah. Well, hemp's easy to grow. Weed's easy to grow. I mean, fine weed is not easy to grow, but weed in general is easy to grow.
Right.
And if you've got something easy to grow, but then you're also paying roughnecks in the field of Texas and Oklahoma a lot of money to pull oil out of the ground, you don't need a competitor.
Right.
I mean, and then as far as Hearst goes, you know, you've got the whole thing with paper products, a lot of hemp paper. The freaking Constitution of this country is written on a hemp paper. One or two copies is. And, you know, there's all these motivators out there that are economic that want to destroy this business. Right now, my personal double soapbox that I'm going to get on right now is taxation. When the governments in this state decided to start taxing cannabis, before the cannabis business started, that's insane. Why don't they let a nascent industry get off the ground?
No.
And start and then go, oh, here's the revenue. Let's tax it.
And you know why? Because all of us that were standing there wanting to be a part of this industry, we agreed to it.
I know.
And the thing is our hands were tied. Because
there was no option.
And because we were in that position, and I know because we dealt with this a lot in the process for where we're at, and it was like, why can't we just get a break to infuse into this and then start paying taxes? And now listen, you either pay you not only that, all your fees up front, everything is up front.
Ask me about my event license that I paid for this year. How's that going? I keep asking.
That's twofold. There's two.
Yeah. I keep asking, am I going to get this money back or what's going on?
Oh, no. You're not getting money back.
Oh, what?
No.
What? Oh, my God. Really? I'm so surprised.
I can't believe that you even thought that there was a chance that you would get anything back on that.
I'm just shitting you. I have no hope.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's back to Reefer Madness and that whole thing as it played out. It was... I think everybody should watch it because you will learn the madness that's behind
the paranoia.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they had these people, when you watch this, these people literally looked like they would.
they're hysterical.
It's not even, it's so crazy that they're the way that they're smoking. And as soon as they smoke one hit, they're nuts. And then they just go.
Remember that guy giggling crazily?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh my God, what's going on with this guy?
And then the other guy just sitting there smoking, nonstop. Oh, smoking.
And the young ladies taking their clothes off because they just can't stop. You know? It's insane.
It's cannabis. It's
I
reefer.
asked my daughter to watch it, and her and her friends, and so that they can get an idea what this is all about. And they don't get it, but they also don't know.
It's on the screen
because there it is right there. They just don't know that
So look at this guy
token up in the corner.
Oh no, this is how every cannabis user is. It's absolutely insane. That's what it is. It's insane. And I think everybody, especially now, should really understand what this means and just how bad they made this look.
Look at that. Hey, give me some of that smoke, Joe. Oh, my God, this is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm feeling high.
Yeah.
Let's take off my clothes here.
And it's just like when you see this part where he takes his first hit of marijuana, and then everything's nuts.
It's Technicolor, like Wizard of Oz. Everything just changes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then the thing that you have to remember is this thing was pushed on everybody.
Oh yeah.
It was pushed through schools. It was pushed through every imaginable resource that they could to get people to understand.
Reefer Madness was played as a PSA in theaters. So if you went to see Gone with the Wind or something, you'd see that before.
Right.
Just to freak you out. And then, and the worst part of it was there was a whole lifestyle around hemp farming in this country, meaning that was their crop.
Yeah.
Okay. That was their crop. And all of a sudden, the government steps in, industrialists step in and say, no, you can't do it anymore.
Like done. You're like everything you were doing overnight is gone.
Done. And I don't know about like things like I can probably a corollary to like the Dust Bowl, right? And after 1929, the collapse of 29, was it because hemp wasn't being farmed in that property anymore?
I think there's a lot of things that factored in.
Sure. I mean, it's so weird. This war on cannabis culminating with the war on drugs by Nancy Reagan, back in the day. Just insanity. I don't know how old you are, but I was in high school. And
53.
Yeah, I'm 56, and I was in high school, and I just remember this crazy skinny white lady saying, say no to drugs, and then find out later she's on all sorts of pharmaceuticals.
I mean, there's a lot of things that go that direction, and now you bring that forward to now, and look where we're at.
Yeah,
we have this COVID running the world, running everything, and
little bit weird.
I mean, you could go into political stuff. You can go. There's a lot of avenues you could take on it. I'm really disappointed, not only us as a nation, but as the world, of how something has brought us to a place that has never happened in the history of the world.
And that's brought us.
And when you talk about like what happened in the 20s and 30s with the Depression, all these things, what did it? And that's where we're at right now. Companies, businesses, lifestyles, people, families are destroyed by this, and it's getting worse.
Yeah, and it is getting worse.
I'm not saying COVID's getting worse. I'm saying I can't wait for this election to be done, and really situate where we're at with this. I just my son sent me this morning, early this morning. He sent me a list that they just published of how our Thanksgiving is supposed to be. This was on the news. This was on KUSI this morning. And he sent this to me, and it was just like, it's mind-boggling because you don't believe it, but this was on the news. So what came out, and you can thank Governor Newsom for this.
I went to high school with him.
Okay, good.
Ay.
So no more than 3 households, including your own, may gather.
What?
This is the list that they posted on KUSI News this morning. I went, and I did more research on it. It's all the states, Massachusetts, it's crazy. The host of the gathering must collect all names and addresses of those attending. All gatherings must be held outside. So you your turkey is outside this year.
Good luck in Minnesota.
I was just gonna get there.
It's gonna be a cold turkey.
Yeah.
Cold turkey.
How about hey, Minnesota's one. You ever been to Nebraska?
Oh hell yeah.
Listen, I think Nebraska is the coldest fucking place I've ever been. I've been all through Minnesota. Don't get me wrong, they're cold. Something about Nebraska.
It's windswept.
Exactly. When you're standing there, like the wind.
There's Minneapolis right there, 33 and
now,
cloudy.
What's Nebraska right now?
Yeah, what's Omaha?
It's definitely going to be warmer, but
No, it's bite ass cold.
The fucking wind going through there.
I grew up all my summers in upstate Wyoming in Sheridan.
Okay, another great place.
Oh my God, does it get cold
that we're
there.
all going to be outside. You know what I mean? Happy Thanksgiving. So then it says you can go to the bathroom inside if the bathroom is frequently sanitized. Keep in mind, this is on the news this morning. You are allowed to gather in an open park, 3 households only, but no concurrent gatherings like with people you know in the same park.
Well,
So wait, let me get through this.
okay, I'm losing it. This is
All
killing me.
seating must be socially distanced. All food, this is the best. There's one of the best parts. All food must be in single-serve disposable dishes.
What?
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
Singing
Wait,
is
don't
discouraged.
jump
I got
ahead
to
on
beat you that
this.
one.
No,
Oh my
no.
God.
The other is you must wear a mask at all times unless you are eating. Okay. You can only gather for 2 hours. So Thanksgiving this year, we have a 2 hour time cap.
Eat up, George.
Oh, don't worry. It only takes me 10 minutes. The best one is this. Singing is discouraged.
Oh no.
Yes. But if you must sing, you must wear a mask and sing below a standard speaking voice. This is our thing.
What, George?
This is our
I can't hear
Thanksgiving.
you, George. What? What?
La 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 la. I don't know. Like this is what I'm getting at is what are we doing? Like where are we really going with this? You know what I mean? Listen, I had COVID, and I do understand. You know, I'm not downplaying what COVID is, I guess, but in a way, it's like people. If you look at the statistics, that's all I can say is just look at the statistics of what's happening here, and then try to understand like why is this bringing the world to its knees?
I heard the weirdest stat the other day. Okay, you know what the mean average age of death in this country is? 82. You know what the mean average age of COVID death is? 84.
So, you know, I don't want to take it into a whole big thing on COVID. It doesn't deserve that time, but just to really understand,
Yeah.
like this is what's posted, or this is what was on the news, and this is what's being fed into people's mind. You know what this is? This is reefer madness all over again.
It's control.
It is. It really, truly is. And this is how bad it is. If at any time somebody said, "Oh, we're done. Everything's fine." Yes, you know, some people are going to be sick. It's going to happen. They could change it in a second. It's crazy of how fast and how long and what this is doing to people, because the thing is we don't even see it yet on what has really happened. We're seeing this, you know, it's like what happens is there's, you know, like when an atomic bomb goes off.
Yeah.
You're on the outskirts. You're seeing what's happened on the outskirts, but until you start walking into the epicenter of whatever it is, earthquake, bomb, whatever, that's when you start to see. And we're just starting to understand how bad this really is, and also we're finding out how bad it really isn't.
We've heard recently, especially out in the valley, you know, like San Fernando Valley and up north,
Right.
Merced, Modesto, sales are going down in dispensaries except for certain items that are low-cost items,
Right.
Because the unemployment ran out, and all of a sudden,
We knew it was happening.
yeah, and now this whole thing, I don't get it, because it's fostering this false economy, and then the destruction of businesses. Like for instance, for my manufacturing business, I would not have made it through this. I would not have made it.
Right.
My payroll was 20G or 30G a week.
Yeah.
I could not have made it. It would have just been devastating to my business. I would have lost everything. So if you're out there right now and I'm looking at you and you're looking at this podcast and you've lost it, I empathize, man. I really, really do, because this is tough times. And I'm not sure this is the right approach, but this could be a whole different podcast.
No,
you can go deep,
But I think what I was getting at was to kind of parallel what happened with Reefer Madness, because people don't see that. They just think, oh, it's all about getting high. Reefer Madness, like you said, it destroyed huge companies.
Huge.
Overnight. The hemp world went away. And a lot of us never knew that, because it wasn't through those generations that, it wasn't, once it happened, it wasn't something in the history books that went down as...
Well, let's talk about one product from hemp. Hemp rope.
Biggest thing that started with hemp.
So who benefited more than any company than DuPont from the advent of plastics and artificial rope? What more reason do they have to destroy hemp than that? Hemp was the rope product worldwide for centuries. It wasn't just a couple years. It was for millennia even. It's a strong fiber. It's versatile fiber. It's useful fiber. Levi Strauss, I think, used hemp in the original canvas. I mean, these are all real things that were destroyed. It's so multi-level. I love this podcast right now. Well, thank you. I mean, I enjoy it too, because this is a great subject.
We're not even talking about Shoogies anymore.
No, Shoogies is great. Buy Shoogies.
Buy Shoogies.
But and there's hemp on the screen there.
Soon to be hemp packaging.
Yeah, exactly. But hemp is, it's like, I'm fond of saying, there's so much that this plant gives to us. Worldwide, you can grow hemp anywhere. You can put it in the ground.
Sorry, is this the Columbia commercial?
Patagonia.
Patagonia?
Have you seen this commercial?
No.
Unbelievable. You don't even know what it is as they're doing it, and it starts from the very first part of hemp,
Yeah.
and then it goes into this whole process, and you're looking at the jobs and the people and the fiber and everything that it's doing and where it's going. And then the very end of the commercial, it's just Patagonia.
I know they have a whole line of things.
Natural, boom, misunderstood, and then
legal.
It's
Amber
That's
waves
it.
of grain right there.
You go through that whole thing, and it's just amazing. And that's that rope, yes. But as you go through where we could be right now with hemp, if we hadn't closed this down for this many years, and now where we're going with it.
And also exciting. Extracted cellulose from hemp too. Okay, so we're dealing with plastics and plasticines right now. These are not my favorite things in the world, but they're a necessary evil because they deliver water to the masses. But hemp cellulose, you can produce a plasticine type of product. It won't be clear probably, and they'll probably get to a process.
Yeah, we're at that point now where we got water in cardboard boxes.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, and talk about hemp being a vital product there. What's stopping the entire, swath of the United States agricultural market getting back into this? Well, it's stupid laws. It's stupid laws enacted by stupid people who perhaps have some financial interest in that, making those laws.
No, there's definitely there's a chain on that is for sure.
For sure.
There's and that's the drive for a lot of this outside stuff in cannabis as well.
Yeah,
it's whether it's here or not here, somebody other than your typical manufacturer, which is, we're making a living off of it.
Yeah.
But the bigger side of that is the people that are getting paid to put it into play. My belief.
Yeah.
Once again, I mean,
who knows? Thank God people like Yves Chenard, the owner and founder of Patagonia, who was an old friend of my father's when my dad was in the outdoor business.
How crazy is
that? He was a forward thinker, and he's still, and his company is still forward thinker. Casey Sheehan was his CEO after Eve left, and Casey and my dad used to ski together, and also forward thinker and looking to new and recyclable projects. I think Patagonia still accepts garments back and they'll recycle them. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That started I think 30 years ago. That's amazing foresight, into an industry that was wasteful. I mean, the clothing industry alone in this world is insane.
It's nuts.
It is nuts. I mean, disposable clothing, this whole thing about I think there's a new campaign about this disposable products and how we have to rein back in. And I mean, I'm just going to give you a concrete example. In my house, we keep a 2-gallon steel tub on our counter. Okay, any bag that we get at the grocery store, we take it and line that thing, and then that's our garbage can, because we try to think about what we're disposing of all the time. So I don't have the big can on the floor that I'm just opening up. It's got the big trash bag in it and I'm throwing it in. Every time we do something in my household, we look and say, wow, this is super wasteful.
This is where I'm the worst at it. I'm not gonna lie. I do recycle.
Yeah.
In the big can.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm the worst at it, and I don't know why I can't get over that hump.
It's ingrained.
You know what I mean?
It's ingrained.
And I think it's because I can't even say it's because I was brought up, because that's not the truth. But I mean, I'm much better at it than I ever was, and I think that's just because of people like yourself that. I'm sure you're not that guy that's like, oh, you know, if you were at my house, you'd be like, what the fuck you doing? You know, this, that. No. Because those are the ones that I go, you know what? Okay, here, I'm going to throw this on the road, you know. But, I mean, I remember as a kid, we would do, you know, there were seven kids in our family. So we weren't getting on airplanes and going where?
No, car.
We were in a fucking station wagon.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we were in a station wagon.
Sleeping bags in the back. I know that one.
Listen, and we had the station wagon with the seats that faced backwards.
Oh, yeah, I had that. Yeah.
And I can remember as a kid driving. We would go family in Michigan. We'd drive from California to Michigan. 7 kids in a station wagon.
3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
As quick as my dad could get us there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because his arm was sore from reaching around fucking slapping people on the head, you know. But I can remember as a kid.
Wait, was that my car?
We were fortunate because in the back there was a back window. We didn't have the crank. We had a button we could push, and I'd be sitting in the back as the youngest, and we would get Kentucky Fried Chicken. If you remember back in the day, big tub.
Oh, sure.
Barbecue chicken, whatever.
Yeah.
Drinks, all the stuff.
Delicious.
And I can remember as a kid, we'd be driving down the road, and when you were done with your drink, you'd hit the button, throw the shit right out the back window.
Yeah.
I mean, our car was 7 kids driving across the nation. It was like, it was horrible when you think about it.
That's just one car.
That's just one car.
Right.
And I remember that. And I remember we'd be here in Lakeside, you know, here driving. Anything you had at the drive-in, as soon as you were done with whatever you were eating, it went out the window.
Yeah.
And
I used to see that a lot. I don't see as much anymore.
And then I remember the Indian.
The crying Italian Indian.
Yes.
I remember.
Yeah, the Italian Indian. Yes. And I remember that. And that stuck in my head, and that stopped, I think, everybody from...
That was it was a watershed moment in the environmental movement in the United States. They're the family truckster right there. That's brings back memories.
That was us.
There you go.
Right? That was us. And then the one that really stuck with me as I got older was the one where the guy's driving down the road and he's throwing his shit out the window and then he gets home, pulls up in, you know, and goes in his house. And then a couple minutes later, a trash truck pulls up, backs up into his backyard and dumps all this trash in his backyard.
I love that.
Or in his front yard, sorry.
Yeah.
Backs up into his front yard and dumps the trash, and the guy comes out like, damn, you know?
What's going on?
Right. I don't know where that was going.
Well, it's just, the whole waste thing, you know?
It is.
And like for my products, I'm trying to get all of these things environmentally friendly too. This is very difficult, but for food safety, I can't on these, but the boxes are fully recyclable material.
We were talking earlier before we started this, and we were talking about kind of the older generations and where they're at. And
let's
that
talk
was something
about that.
that I know that we wanted to kind of talk about. And
well, my thing is I want to get more older people into the dispensaries, like the 45 to 75, 80-year-old group. And I want that environment to be friendly to them, you know, and really kind of be more open to them. often when you go into the larger chain dispensaries, it's very boom, boom, boom. Get in there, get out. What do you want? The bud tenders, I got to say, they're like remind me of the record store employees when I was a kid. It's like, dude, you don't want ABBA. You want Metallica. No, I want the ABBA album.
Right.
No, you want Metallica.
No, that's the truth. For people that don't know what we're talking about, it's called a record store.
A record store.
And that's, they had these
go
things,
like this through the racks and
they
find
had
your
these things.
album.
They were called records. And it was a black disc, and you had a record player that had a little needle thing on it, and it would drop down. If you had a really cool one, it was all automatic.
Oh, yeah.
And then it would play music. And there's the famous Tower Records.
Famous Tower Records.
I spent many of days, hours, either sorting through or standing in line for concert tickets.
Totally.
That was
God.
like my.
Do you remember that? The ticket window at Tower?
Yes. Trip West was another one that then I actually started standing in line, and people would pay me
to get their tickets.
To get the tickets for them. And Trip West, which was a place here, we would get the tickets, and they would pay us, and we'd get free tickets.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wow, scam.
Yeah.
I love that.
At that time, you were allowed to buy, I think it started at 20, and then it went down to 10, and then eventually they said you can only buy 2 tickets.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it. So, but anyways.
So going back to the dispensary was like, if these environments became more friendly, and more welcoming, and they offered more products that the broader community would like, you're not getting, I'm sorry, dispensaries, you're not getting dabbing grandma. There's only one of those ladies, and she's on Instagram. And
yeah, she is. Actually, I saw her at an event.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
She's a trip.
Yeah. We were up at, it was San Bernardino. It was...
High Times?
It wasn't High Times. Anyway, she was there.
Yeah, so it's like you have to make an environment where people want to come in. And I'll just be blunt and say this: that demographic has the most money in history right now. That demographic from my age, over 50 to 75, has more money than has ever existed on the face of the planet in our history. Okay, you need to start catering to this crowd because you will do well, and if you have products that appeal to them, that will basically make your bottom line better.
But don't you see, like, the dispensaries now, we owned 4 stores back in the day. We'd take this stuff in a second and we'd push it and sell it and sell it and sell it. And that was fun to us, was to take something
different, new,
and to push it. And we always said, if you don't get a resale, that's not our fault. That's something with your product.
Right.
But we promised as a store that it wasn't going to sit on the shelf.
You're going to move.
We're going to move it. And that first lot's going to go. We promised that. And then if the reorders start taking place, that's where you're starting to get that foothold in the marketing side, which is key now. But I think the dispensaries nowadays, I don't want to say they're narrow-minded, because that's not really what it is. It's that everything has to be just so.
Right.
And they're trying to drive it towards a certain person, a demographic that I think is kind of not attainable. I think like what we're saying here.
It's narrow.
This product, it's not, I don't want to say it the wrong way, but let's just say it's not a personal lubricant. You know what I mean?
No.
Not everybody wants to, like, that's a tougher one to put out there.
Sure.
Than this. This, to me, it's a consumable in every aspect for anybody.
Anybody.
And now that it's going to be in a stevia, it now allows everybody that uses sugar in any way to participate. And that's where I think, as a store, you need to really look at, versus like, I can't sell that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead, you should look at it like, wow, this is something that we can sell. No, you know what? Maybe as a store, you're not going to sell $30,000 a day of this product. Maybe you will.
Right.
We always hope. But this becomes a staple. And when people the big thing that we learned in stores, consistency. When
I'm so
somebody
happy
comes
you
in,
said that word too.
Yes,
it's a staple.
Yes, and that's what I'm getting at is consistency is the key. And so a store comes in, and maybe you don't sell these, in 30 days, you don't sell, 5,000 packs. Maybe let's say you sell 1,000. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 people that bought this product. Now you start watching, and the people come back and they go, if it's priced right and everything's good and it's a good product and they use it that way, they go, I want a pack of Shoogies.
Yeah.
And then they go to that store and the store's like, it didn't sell that well, but I'm here to buy it. Why would you not have it?
That's my mantra right now is you
right.
got to ask for what you want.
Exactly.
You
and that's where I was headed was people need to ask for the things that they want. When you walk into a store, if you have Shoogies and you're getting it at XYZ dispensary and now you're down at a family friend's vacationing somewhere in California and you go into a dispensary because you want to get a couple of cartridges, get an eighth or, whatever it is that you're getting, soda, and you go into that store, you should, it's something that you need to do is to say, do you guys have Shoogies? And people go, what's Shoogies? Oh, you don't have Shoogies. This is important for people to do.
It is. And
not complain about, oh, you don't have it. Oh, whatever.
Well, the other thing too about my product, and there's other products that are low dose. For almost a year and a half, I had everyone beating on me saying, are you going to make a 10 or 20 milligram pack? And I'm like, no. And here's why. I make this product so you can have a nice night or you can have a nice day. You can start off your day. If you want a 3-cup day, put one in each cup. That's 15 milligrams. Your body's going to recognize you got 15 milligrams in you. If you're a heavy hitter, well, for God's sake, make some brownies out of the home baker bag. For cocktails, I do cocktails with the Shoogies Agave, which is this one here.
Right.
And I use soda water, some lime juice or other fruit juice, and then I mix in the Shoogies. Well, guess what? If you're not a drinker and you want to hang with your boys or your girls and you want to just drink all night, well, you can do it. You can sit there and drink all night and feel good, and you're not going to be destroyed. Because if you have 200 milligrams in you, you're just going to be in the corner not talking to anybody.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Trust me, my fiance she can vouch for that. Why are you laughing? It just happened? It just happened.
No. It's happened.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Trust me. I do know. My wife, when she was my fiance, you get these people that experience. I mean, she literally passed out. We were at hate to say it, we were at a Dan Bilzerian party.
Oh,
But she literally passed out.
Wow.
Because people, they don't know what their tolerances are, and when you're just grabbing shit and eating it, you know what I mean? It just doesn't work.
No, and if you're a cannabis consumer, I think, and I want to know because I smoke all the time, right?
Right.
And I vape, and I ingest my own product because I'm a believer in my own product. I want to know what I've got going on.
So for you,
Yeah.
you smoke, you vape, whatever, on that side of it. What is your tolerance, on edibles?
For me,
Because it's different.
No, for me, I'm like 30 milligrams.
Okay.
Because then,
So this is coming from somebody that 14, 13 years old, you started using cannabis.
yeah.
Okay.
And-
we all at some point, but think about it this way.
Yeah.
For somebody, and this gives you the idea, you know what this, I just came up with this right now, and you can't steal this
lay it
because
on
it's
me.
on fucking video.
All right.
So, how it's like you have the sleep number bed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course it is.
So everybody goes, oh, what's your number?
Yeah.
Oh, my number's, 17. What's your number? My number's 9. That's the level of comfort that you have.
Right.
And when you get into bed, boom, you hit that. I sleep at 7. I watch TV at 17 or whatever it is. My thing now is going to be in cannabis. It's going to be, what's your number?
That's a great
idea.
idea.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
So get people to walk in. Hey.
It's a great guideline.
You know what I like? I want a gummy. The bud tender goes, what's your number? What do you mean? Oh, you don't know? You should know your number.
Yeah.
Are you 20? Are you 30? Are you 50?
Right.
Milligrams.
It's a great
That's what we're
idea.
getting at.
It's a great idea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, so you're 20. Well, listen, this product right here is going to be great for you to get started. Or you know what? I don't know my number. I really am not big on edibles.
Rampant.
Definitely, this is a product that you need to try.
Well,
do you like iced tea? Do you like this? This is going to be the way for you to get into the edible world without getting out of it instantly, because that's typically how this works. Now, you like iced tea, coffee? Here, take this, put it in your coffee, put it in your iced tea, put it in whatever. Now you're going to be sipping your way to a great experience on edibles.
Well, tell me about, do you know of another product that does what I do in terms of like, you know that this unit has 5 milligrams in it. You know it. This has 5 milligrams of THC in it. So you know when you ingest that, that's what you're getting. I don't think there's very many products out there that do that currently.
I mean, in this specific delivery method, no, not at all. Even that or the agave or anything.
No.
But I can tell you, like, now the world is becoming conscious of that. So like our gummies, our chocolates.
Oh, right. Sorry, of course, gummies.
You know,
right.
You know that is what you're getting. And that's great. It's turned the corner for so many people, because I myself, I can't stand edibles. And the only reason why is because I'm the guy that eats a whole fucking pack of gummies back in the day, or the whole chocolate bar. And then I'm sitting in the corner on 400 milligrams.
Wondering what's happening.
No, not even wondering.
Just,
Yeah. You can't even, there's nothing. So I blew my experiences on that. But nowadays, having the understanding that if you eat a gummy coin and it says it's 10 milligrams, it's 10 milligrams.
Yeah.
That's the best thing that's happened with testing.
Because it has to test, right?
Consistency.
Yeah, no.
That's it. But one of these products that we're talking about, like there's products that back in the day, I mean, the Black Bar, 1,000 milligrams, Kurova.
The Kurova.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean,
then the billboard says like so high you won't know what you're doing kind of thing. It's like, what? Yeah. I don't really want that.
You're almost high enough that you can touch God.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember those.
One more bar, you will be. Yeah. But you won't die.
No.
You'll just be
Kurova up there at the milk bar. Oh, I remember those.
Oh man. So, that's kind of one of the great things about this. Not to say that, that it's not good in every aspect of what it is, but when you're really looking at people that walk in the door, we're getting this big group of people now, as the older people as well, that go, you know what? I haven't been big on cannabis. I haven't, but I really want to try. They're forgetting about these people that now that it's legal, there's the people that are all standing out there now going, wow, it's legal. And I've never tried cannabis and I want to try it. And then people go in the store. What do you think? Oh, dude, you got to try this chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, the chocolate's great. It tastes great. There's no education behind it. You know what I mean? That's where it needs to start. But a product like this for somebody that's getting started in the edible world is probably, it should be marketed in some ways too, because once again, my wife, eased her way into it. Not, as Borat would say, not.
Very nice.
Yeah. Very nice. And her first experience was bad because of me. Uh-huh. And back in the day when we had our store, when we started manufacturing stuff, we had what was called Medicated Moonshine. 1,600 milligram drink.
Ooh, boy.
Literally came in a little glass moonshine jug.
Yeah.
We had 4 or 5 different flavors. It came in a wooden box that had straw in it, so it laid in the straw, and it was burnt medicated moonshine.
Fancy.
Oh, yeah, and a little rope handle on it.
Yeah.
And you'd open this thing up, and here's this 1,600 milligrams.
Holy cow.
And we promoted it as a sipping drink. And guess what happened?
Nobody can sip.
No. It became a challenge to drink the whole bottle.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's a 4-day bad time.
Oh, listen, I mean, I have people that can tell you stories about it. But so I had my girlfriend at that time, which then became my fiance and then my wife. I said, hey, try a little bit of this. And so she sipped just a little bit of it. The problem with that was the emulsification process wasn't that great.
Inaccurate.
Great. So, I mean, I shook it up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But it still floats to the top.
Oh, yeah.
So, realistically, the first portion of whatever you drank in that bottle was the bigger side of all of it. So, we went to dinner. She didn't feel anything. 45 minutes later, she said, I'm fine. We get done with dinner. She said, I'm going to go to the restroom. She comes out, and literally the whole world had changed.
Yeah.
And
on fire.
We were down. This was her first experience with cannabis.
Boy.
We were at the beach. We walked down the beach, and it was like a cat with tape on her feet.
Oh God.
And then it just went south from there.
Oh boy.
So yeah, we go back. And these are the things that I get back to is that we really need to pay more attention, especially in the edible world, on how we're bringing people into the pool, because they leave really fast.
They do, and that one time I'm going to recount what I call a Stony story too right now. So this has to do with brownies, right? And this is kind of my motivator on the home baker bag. Was when I was 18, my brother was a serious head, and he was 15. He made a batch of brownies, right? And it was just butter that we made at home.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows what it was in there? It was kind of like 5,000 milligrams. So he makes it, and he's an idiot. So, sorry, Chuck. So he puts it on top of our fridge, right? And he's putting it up there to cool. My stepdad comes home, and he is a chocoholic, right? Arch Republican, bourbon drinker, not a drug guy at all.
Right.
He comes in, and he's like, and he's like, a dog, you can smell it. It's like, where's that chocolate at? Where is that chocolate?
Right.
He finds it on top of the fridge. Next thing, I come home, half of this tray is gone. I hear this laughing and screaming in the other room, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? I go in, my stepdad is in his, his white beater t-shirt, his underwear, watching Frankenstein. He's on the floor. And he's was just tripping balls. And he just goes, oh, man, that was a great movie. He just goes into his bedroom. 2 days later, he comes out.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
It happens.
It does happen. And
It happens.
Shit happens.
Yes. And it continues to happen.
Yeah.
And then the question is did he ever become a cannabis user because of that? Or did he have the other side of it?
If he was out with his guys in a safe zone, not with me, right? But
Right.
I know he toked a couple of times after that because he was with his crew, right?
Right.
And he could feel good about what he was doing. I never smoked weed with him, though. But I did with my mom, and she got back into it a little bit. And in fact, my mom's 80, and some of her friends have asked me about what I'm doing, and they want to try it. So that just goes back to the subject. It's that huge money demographic that wants to try cannabis and integrate it into their life.
Another story, from my part, when we had our stores, our store in Oceanside, there, and a limousine pulls up into the parking lot. Wow, what the hell's going on here? Guy goes over, opens up the door. This little old lady gets out, 82, 83, somewhere in there, comes in with her driver. She's like, I got my card.
All right.
I want to buy some weed.
Nice.
I've never smoked marijuana. I've never done anything in my life, but I want to try it now. And that was it.
Right on.
I was like, wow, really aggressive. All right. So we spent some time. We were talking. What do you want to get out of this? And, she's like, I just want to get high. And
great answer.
I've never been high in my life. And now I can get a card and I can come here. And that was it. She was actually one of the residents at a very high end
retirement
home
Yeah.
in Carlsbad.
Wow.
And so we sent her on her way, and she didn't want to smoke. She loved chocolates, and she loved candies and bakery items and that type of stuff. So we sent her home with, back in the day, we had big muffins and stuff like that. And then 3 days later, she comes back. The limo pulls up, and I'm like, oh, I forget what we called her back in the day. And now 6 people get out of the car.
6 little old ladies.
Yes.
Nice.
And the driver. And they come in. I brought my friends. We got our cards. We're here to shop.
Let's do this.
And it was just the funniest thing in the world because
I love that.
We had so much fun with that. So they all leave, and back then we delivered. So she calls and says, "Hey, I'm having a party here. I would love it if you guys would deliver me for X amount of people, whatever you think, and deliver it." So I personally delivered a whole bunch of bakery stuff. Some people wanted to smoke, and so we had all that.
Cool.
And I went, and she was standing at the door of this retirement center, beautiful place. And she came out, and we were laughing and the whole thing, and she said, they do these old people parties here. And so those guys over there, they're the ones that, they sit down here and they do this and that. She's like, "I'm having a party up at my resident." And it was just the funniest thing. And it really made me realize like how much people missed out on in cannabis in that time. And that person and her, and we had a relationship all the way up until we, sold the store. But they had the best time ever. And she became known probably as, the marijuana granny in the retirement center. And she'd be like, "Yeah, such and such likes to smoke. So we got to go out on her balcony to smoke." And, it's just, yeah. And here they are, 80. And so it's just funny to see that. And now with where we're at, there's so many people now that are trying marijuana for the first time. Takes me back to just being careful of how it gets introduced, because you have people, had she had a horrible experience,
then you're not coming
it would have
back.
justified everything that she'd ever seen or heard
In the media, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a woman up in the Bay Area, Annette Vu. She has a business called Caviar, and I've hired her before for events. And what she does is she'll bring product with her that we do a sell through and we buy it that way. And she has they're basically attendants that come by with a fanny pack on, and they ask you a question. They say, "What do you want? What do you want to get out of your cannabis experience?" They have like different pre-rolls and different edibles on them, and they'll coach you through it. So if you have a party that you want, so House Caviar, shout out, you can have someone monitor you basically to help you experience and get the best experience from cannabis possible.
So it's kind of like, what are those guys called?
Sommelier kind of thing.
But
The wine guys.
Yeah, there's that. But then in the DMT world,
the shamanistic guide.
Yeah. So it's kind of
exactly.
like, how great is that?
It's a great idea. I mean, and it's such a service.
Because you have somebody there. So this may be the truth, kind of going back into acid, LSD. Yeah. So the first time that I tried it, it was great. And then I had a horrible experience because one of the people that I was with was like, "Oh, the devil's here," and this and that.
Oh.
So I think this is one of those things that, and the second time it was the same exact experience.
Oh, no.
And I had to have my girlfriend at that time. Her dad came and picked me up at my house and brought me to his house. And then they fucked with me there for about 4 hours, before life became normal again. But, with that being said, there's a lot of avenues in cannabis for people, not that they make money, but it is an avenue for a business where you can introduce people. You got to get to this point where you're introducing people to this to the world of cannabis.
Yeah.
And how great is it to be able to sit down with somebody, form a relationship that you're comfortable with, and going, "Hey, I want to try some of these products." And they say, "Okay, I have this, and this." Don't do it all at the same time. You know what I mean?
I try one at a time.
So somebody sit there talking. You can talk. You can try it. Right now, I mean, we're all in this world where it's like, "Oh, we're going to go to the dispensary and we're going to get fucked up." And you got, the guy over here that has never done it, or the girl, and the mentality of people that are just hammered, and can consume a lot. Oh, come on, what's wrong with you?
Dude, I was at High Times, and we had a booth at High Times San Bernardino last year.
Right.
And the guys from Apex had this dab booth, right? And I watched a parade of young ladies come up, and it was primarily young girls. Like, "I've never dabbed before." And I watched so many of these girls just hit the dab pipe and just go like this. Wow, boom, on the ground, just instantaneously.
how horrible is that?
It's not a good thing.
No.
And they were just like, whoa, there goes another one. And I was like, that wasn't really funny. That was kind of actually horrible.
No, and the only thing you're doing is hurting the industry because that person will fear from there. And we were at High Times Cannabis Cup in San Bernardino, and this would be probably 4 or 5 years ago, and we had a booth and the whole thing. And right as you walk through the door, dab station. That was all the thing. It was just dabbing. And so I was, just walking around and talking to people and whatnot. And I'm standing there, and this woman comes in. It's her birthday, and she's with her daughter and a few other people. And they're like, it's my mom's birthday, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I've never done cannabis in my life. I've never done this and that. And they're like, you got to come up and do a dab.
Oh, no.
Oh, listen. So literally, they're all up there, and I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, what are they doing to her? They load up a big giant dab.
Oof, that's irresponsible.
And she, they're hitting this thing, and boom, she goes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
20 minutes later, we're sitting at our booth. We were at the stage, and then we had the PV booth here, and then there's like the light poles, where it's like a parking lot or whatever the hell it is up there. And so I'm sitting there and I'm watching stuff going on, and she comes walking by, and she literally is just like lost. I'm like, where's the family? Where's everybody? She was by herself. She's standing against the pole, literally just like freaking out. Then sits down, and then a little bit later, here comes security.
Oh no.
Here comes, the paramedics, and then they have her in a chair. They're giving her water. And then pretty soon she's being wheeled out. I'm like, how do you think that experience for her, for everybody involved, High Times, Cannabis Cup, the people that gave her the dabs, anything else around there?
They just lost a consumer.
That's it.
It's terrible marketing.
And not just one. She's gonna tell everybody what a horrible experience she had.
Never do dabs. That's what her mantra is going to be.
Right.
Never do this. Don't do this. Don't try this. Woo, weed's awful.
I had the worst experience, and I get it. I get it. But anyways, so that going back to what we were talking about with, having the older generations coming back into it.
Yeah. And I think the breadth of products out there there's so many good people out there. Like, I don't know if you know this drink. It's in LA called Calexo. Make a great cannabis drink. It's probably the only cannabis drink I like. Right.
Right.
Just because it tastes like a cocktail. You can actually pour it over ice, and it's like, wow, I'm drinking something cool here. This is really good.
Gotcha.
But there's other products like this out there that are having a hard time in the market because there's reticence on the part of the dispensary to take on stuff that they don't feel is going to sell. There's Calexo right there. Great drink, great marketing. Brandon is very cool cat. I had him on my podcast, and he was on Instagram Live with me.
Nice.
And like they deserve a break. They deserve a break, and other people deserve a break because we're all lovers of the plant. We're all trying to bring that joy to the world,
right?
In our own way,
And I think when you say deserve a break, that's a tough one because you're not going to get a break.
No,
I hate to say it.
No, I agree.
And the only reason I do say it is because we've lived this. We continue to live it every day. And when you think that you've gotten somewhere, you really have. But the biggest thing that I can say is don't give up. That's what I say is don't give up because there are so many great products out there that people believe in. Yeah. And they are really great products. But they're not pushing. They give up. That's the only thing I say is that they give up, and there will be a spot for all of this once the now starts to get involved, and when people like this product right here. I mean, I'm the guy, and I'm not saying it because you're on a podcast or whatever, because I'm very open about telling people whether I think it's good or bad, and that doesn't matter. It's my opinion,
right?
But in this case, I mean, I think it's a product that it's a necessity.
I appreciate that.
And having it on a shelf, maybe, especially, right now because of how things are, it's not something people go, oh my God, I got to have Shoogies. You know what I mean?
No.
But at some point, people will be sitting in their living room. They'll be sitting in a restaurant. They'll be sitting at a cafe, a lounge. And this is a product that will be sitting there.
Yeah, and I'm not your primary product for a cannabis consumer. I'm your add-on product.
Right.
I'm your guy who you want to have your coffee or your tea and you want to get a little high during the day, but you don't want to be whacked. But you're still going to smoke. You're still going to dab. You're still going to get your diamonds out. You're still going to get your vape pen out. You're going to get your platinum vape out, right?
Absolutely.
And all of these things are part of the ecosphere.
Yep.
They're not
and that's where we're at now is I truly believe that now what's happening is people are starting to, because it is a necessity, because it is something that people go, they go, wow, I don't want to get fucking lit, but I do want to, I want to feel good and
get that,
whatever.
That mellow feeling.
Right.
I want to just coast
and so
a little more.
with this, you can, once again, whatever you're consuming,
Right.
you can put this in it, on it, however you want to. Mix it with cinnamon, or this is the agave.
Well,
Talk about the sugar.
You know what's funny about the agave? We have a lot of surfers and guys, bodybuilder guys.
Right.
They'll slam the agave before their workout. Just one, because it's only 5 milligrams, right?
Right.
So you're getting a little boost, low glycemic index on the agave. So you're not getting a sugar high that's bad during a workout.
Right. It's something that's going to prolong.
Right. So you're getting this nice little euphoric feel. So if you're in the middle of a surf session and it just kicks in, you're getting that groove. You're getting that place you want to be, and you get there much faster.
Right. But you're not getting blasted.
You're not getting blasted.
It's not like you're sitting out there and you're in the middle of your workout and all of a sudden you.
No, it's like, is that barbell on my neck?
Yeah,
What's
what the fuck am I doing here?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, man, where did we go on this?
I just
We were at one point we were in prohibition and shit. I don't know where we were.
No,
And
I
neither
mean-
one of us is high. I'm gonna hire you.
No, I was really high last night, but no, I like the freewheeling approach to this whole thing because there's so many subjects in cannabis. There's so many avenues,
Exactly.
and it's not just one thing. It's not a monoculture.
No, I mean, listen, it's like you said, if not to say it the wrong way, but this is true for me too. If I sat on this podcast and talked about one thing, it's fucking boring.
It's boring,
But
right?
but it's like when we were talking with Tommy Chong. Do you think that we talked about his movies? No, that was the least of what we talked about. When there's so many great things and thoughts and opinions and all these things that typically don't take place because Tommy Chong is only known for that.
Yeah. Did you hear him on my podcast when I interviewed him?
I only heard part of it.
At the end, it gets really weird. Okay.
How long did you go with him?
Well, his publicist gave me 15 minutes, and I got him for 58, which was great. But at the end of it, he had his solution to the immigration problem, and it was the Hollywood solution to immigration. And his solution was: you take new immigrants, you give them a job in Hollywood as extras, and he goes on 20 minutes.
Some of this shit that they come up with,
It was hilarious.
Right.
I mean, it was just like, and I was just sitting there going, okay, Tommy, sounds cool.
But if you're only focused on, if people are just getting like, up in smoke and nice dreams and this and that, it's like, okay, every interview has that.
Yeah.
I want to know who this person really is.
He was
you know
super
what I mean?
super cool.
Yeah.
I really appreciated
Yeah.
his direction and his verve, and
Right.
and his love for the plant. It all
Right.
comes back to that love for the
No,
plant.
it truly does, and just the fact that the guy's he's an icon.
He is.
But with that being said, this is where we're at. I think we're
at a watershed.
Yeah. So all I can say is this: if you haven't had Shoogies, you need to have Shoogies. It's not a product that you're going to go out. Don't get me wrong; you can get lit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There's 100 milligrams,
100 milligrams, yeah.
and I mean,
So if you take your like Betty Crocker brownie mix, right?
Right.
This is exactly 1 cup, 8 ounces by weight, and it's a little more because 8 ounces by weight is different from 8 ounces by volume. But all you do is open the bag, get your chocolate mix out, and boom, boom, bake.
done.
It's not hard.
No.
Any monkey could do it, as they say.
Well, I mean, that's why they have those set up that way.
Yeah.
The rest of the products, though, it's something that has to be on a shelf.
Thank you.
I
appreciate that, man.
No, it really is because it's a condiment.
It is.
It's fuck you. Who eats French fries without ketchup? You know what I mean?
That's a sin.
I mean, if you like sugar in your iced tea, you're gonna love this sugar.
This will make your sweet tea that much sweeter.
And when you're baking and you need something that has something that needs agave.
Or drinks, man.
Drinks.
Margaritas
Drinks,
with my agave, it gives you, I mean, I'm not going to advocate the alcohol thing, but crossfading kicks ass with my agave product. It's amazing.
Right. So it's something that has to happen.
Thank you, brother.
Don't give up. That's the
I'll never
biggest
give up.
thing. That's the biggest thing is when you have something like that, you got to go with it. And this is something that truly, and when I get off the mic, I'm not going to go, dude, what the fuck are you thinking? This stuff is shit.
Get out of here, Brian. And for you diabetics out there, stevia is coming because that was the #1 question on our website. When are you coming out with something for me? And I love that question because that's what, going back to that first thing, ask questions.
Right. And I'm iced tea, love iced tea.
Love iced tea.
And I'm that guy that uses sugar in the raw.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's like one of my favorites. And then I'm not a big fan of the stevia or any of those. Like that just, it's not my thing.
It's not my thing either.
But when I grab a sugar in the raw, I almost feel like I'm doing something wrong because people kind of look at you like, dude, what are you doing?
That's uncut.
Yeah, it's uncut. That's the pure shit.
Yeah. Whoa, dude. It's heavy. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Well, Latham,
George.
listen, great time. Once again, Shoogies. There's a lot more to this than just the Shoogies.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we know that. But
there's more coming.
I appreciate it. First of all, I appreciate you letting me be on your podcast. And even more so, you know, immediately I was like, dude, you got to come down. Like, we got to talk about this on my podcast. So thank you for coming on and all the rest of the stuff that we talked about, which
it's been wonderful and freewheeling. I like it. It's like the kind of conversations.
Yeah, we're not. Oh, we're gonna cut for a commercial. Not. So listen, everybody, Shoogies, ask for it. That's the thing.
Ask for it.
You know what? It should be like Shoogies. Ask for it
by name.
Yes, it needs to be on the shelf at the register. That's the big part. This is a product that should be at the register.
That's where the singles come in. The singles come in.
Yes.
So that's just the packet goes
boom,
right in there. Yeah.
Boom. These ones on the shelf.
That's our value pack.
You get to know this too because you got to love the colors.
Thank you,
as well. Anyways, and then go bake.
Go bake. Get baked. Go bake.
Yeah. Go big and go bake.
Right on.
Or something. Latham, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, George.
And as always, like and subscribe. Over here, Tommy? Okay. I always get somewhere in there backwards. Like and subscribe. We don't ask for anything other than that, and just to share it. And if you enjoy it, let us know. It's what helps. So
and share the love of cannabis, man.
Absolutely. So here we are. Still, even after this, the #1 cannabis podcast. If anybody wants to say different, even Latham, bring it. He's over here, fucker. I am the #1. Well, I mean, we're claiming it.
No, I love it, and the production value.
Just like in the one with Will Ferrell. You ever remember that Elf?
Oh yeah.
#1's world's best coffee. Go tell those guys it's not. Good luck. That's how we are. Anyways.
All right.
From PV, thank you.
Peace.
Unfiltered. Peace.